Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Capri Spilling the Tea Lifestyle Tips. And I hope it's not too dark in my room. Let me see if I can turn on some more light here. It looked like it was lighter, but it is the morning time. It still looks a little dark. Give me one moment, let me see if I can turn on this big light here. Okay, that's better. Okay, so welcome back to my channel, Capri Spilling the Tea Lifestyle Tips. And as you can see, it is morning outside. The baby's sleeping, my husband's sleeping, and the kids are at school. So I am able to film a video today. And I wanted to go ahead and film um, Financial Literacy Month. So I looked on Michelle's video and Shay Budget's video, and this month of April is Financial Literacy Month. So basically, you talk about the same subjects as what they're talking about. I listened to Michelle one first, and I listened to Shay Budget's one also. And it was very, very informative. And basically, they're saying why they started on their financial journey and their path of saving money, what happened to make them basically start on this journey. So I was like, you know what? Let me actually share why I started on this journey. I probably have a million times. I'm not sure. But if you've been rocking with me for a minute, then I probably have. But if not, I'm just going to go ahead and share why I started actually saving money, budgeting, and working my way to financial freedom. So basically, when I was in it started when I was 19 years old. That's when I got like my first 5 credit cards in the mail. I had my son at 18 years old, and I was still living with my mother, and I was a single parent, and I was working, but I wasn't making much money. And of course, my mom was helping me, but of course, being 19, I still wanted to be young and fly and cute and go to the mall and keep up with the Joneses. So I got 5 credit cards in the mail. Two of them were Bank of America. One was Capital One, and I forgot and one was Premier Bank, and I forgot what the last one was. Well, anyways, I will never forget. My mom walked past my room and she saw I was opening the mail, and she was like, I see, you're opening up those credit cards. You better not, spend those credit cards. You better like cut them up and throw them away or just keep one. And I was like, yeah, mom, I hear you. Okay, whatever. And of course, being a teenager, having a baby, you don't be thinking about that stuff. You just like, yeah, okay, I hear you, whatever. So, um, I think like after then, she never really spoke of it again. But I know I had all 5 of the credit cards in my possession, and I was swiping them. And when I say swiping them, anything I wanted, I wasn't really an online shopper back then. I was a mall shopper, City Trends, Rainbows kind of shopper. Um, Stay in the middle of the mall to get jewelry kind of shopper. So I remember just going to the mall with my friends and my baby in a little knapsack and just doing whatever I want, still looking good, still looking fab, swiping, 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 swiping. So a couple of months, the bill came like 30 days later, the bill came in the mail. And honestly, you guys, I didn't swipe like 30%. I wasn't on the reading the fine lines, only spend 30%. I was swiping 100% of each and every credit card, and they were coming with $5,000 limit, $4,000, $10,000 limit. Like, yeah. And I didn't sit down in no financial class. I know my mom has always been a good saver, always had money, but I mean, she sat down and she talked to me about money and stuff, but of course I wasn't listening. I was listening, but I just want to do what I want to do at the time. Let's be clear. Okay. So the balances came in the mail, and I'm looking at them like, okay. And I'm paying like just the minimum just so I can go back and swipe some more. Finally, they got so big, I could not pay them. My little Walmart job was not cutting it. And they just gathered up, and I got into debt. I started going to loan companies to get money. Now, the loan companies are totally different. The loan companies, they will call whoever you put on that reference page, your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your grandma, your sister, your brother. They don't care. They're going to call whoever you put on that reference page to get their money. So I made sure that I did pay them back, but it was like I felt like a dog chasing myself or chasing my tail because I would get the money, do what I have to do, end up having to pay more money back because of course they put the finance charges and everything on there. So it was like I would get that money to pay on this credit card or to pay this bill, but it just wasn't working for me. So I was in debt for years. Like I think all of my 20s I was like in deep debt. And I didn't start really telling myself that I want to get out of debt and control my life until I got into my late 20s, early 30s. Now, keep in mind, I'm only 33. I just turned 33 in February of this year. And, when I actually stopped working when I was in Memphis, when I'm by myself, and I don't know about you guys, but when I'm by myself, I'm able to think more. I'm able to meditate more. I'm able to talk to myself more. My higher self is able to talk to my lower self more like Capri. You need to do better. You know, you can't keep going on like this. And I just felt like, you know what, this is so true. I need to do better with myself. I have two kids. I can't keep asking my mother for money, you know, uh to get real deep with you guys. When I was in Memphis, um I don't know if I told you guys before, but me and my husband had a house in Memphis. The rent was only 650. 650 a month, light bill, and I think we paid water. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure. I can't remember. Our lights got turned off. And I can only remember telling myself, "Oh my God, you're such a bad mother for, letting your lights get turned off. Like, how could you?" And at the time, my husband was the only one working. I was receiving a bit of income because I'm always, you know, having a little something on the side, but it wasn't enough to take care of rent and pay the light bill. And my husband wasn't making that much. He was making like 300 every 2 weeks. So I was making enough to pay the rent, and he was making enough to pay like the utilities. But it just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it was just crazy. We still had to buy food, and we still had to keep gas in the car. We still had to pay car insurance. It was crazy. And at that particular time, I had to call back home to my mother and was like, "Look, this is what's going on. I need a little help, you know." And my mom was always that type of person. She will help you, especially me. I'm the baby girl, but she's not going to help you if you have a man. And I can understand that. That's a whole nother story. But she's like, he better get on another job. You know, he better do something. So I think she did end up sending me some money, and I did end up paying her back like around tax time or something like that. But I just knew I had to take a different turn. I had to get myself back on track. So once again, like I told you guys, I love being by myself because that's the time for me to meditate, for my higher self to talk to my lower self. And I sat down, I thought about it. I said, you know what? I need to start back from the basics. I need to go to the root of the problem and work myself back on up. I got to do something. So that's when I said to my husband, I'm moving back home. And he was like, okay, because he knew it wasn't working for me in Memphis for various reasons. And I did try to look for a job. It was so bad, you guys. I even tried to work at Family Dollar. And for some reason, I could not even work at Family Dollar. Like, my credentials were higher. Okay. Like, Family Dollar was like a downgrade. And I even tried to work there. And it wasn't working for me there. So I knew something was telling me, leave Memphis, go back home, start from the basics. So I contacted my mom and I told her, hey, we're moving back home. And when I move back home, can I stay with you for about a year, get myself together? Because I want to buy a house. I no longer want to rent. I need to take care of this debt and get myself in a better place. So my mom was missing us. So she was like, she was for it. She was all for it. So she was like, sure. We packed up everything. We said our goodbyes, which is I hate goodbyes, but at that particular time, I knew, it was goodbye. So we packed up everything. We said our goodbyes, and we left. Came back to South Carolina. I stayed with my mom for about a year and a half, and that's when I was going through the NACA program. I do have a video on that. I was going through the NACA program. That didn't work out. Cool. I was still in the midst of paying my debt and everything, getting my credit good. Then after that, I said, well, let me try with a mortgage person since NACA wasn't working out for me. I said, let me try with a mortgage person. Well, this mortgage guy who I was dealing with at the time, he dealt with people who were like lawyers, doctors, bankers. So my little bit of income that I was making moving back home, my little bit of income, me and my husband, he wasn't really working for us. He kept sending us to his assistant. So I was just like, you know what? That's okay. He's not for us. I was a little upset, but I was like, whatever. I was still working on my debt, still paying off my debt, having fun with it also. I was having so much fun looking at all my debt ratio go down, doing the envelope, the money method with the envelopes, doing the whole Dave Ramsey thing. I was having a ball looking at my credit increase and my debt decrease. Finally, I got with a mortgage company that was for me and my husband, and we purchased our home that we're in now less than 3 months. And at that time, I saw my debt just shrink, 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 and my income, not my income, I'm sorry, and my credit go increase, 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 increase. So my journey into this whole debt thing, honestly, it's been a blessing and a curse, but I would not go back at all. At one point in time, I used to beat myself up like, oh, if I could start back from the beginning, I wouldn't have opened those envelopes, or I would have trashed them, or I would have kept at least one or two credit cards. But you know what? I always say, you live and you learn. Okay? And like right now, I'm teaching my kids to this day, like, control your money. Don't let your money control you. And don't buy mundane things just because you like it. Because guess what? When this iPhone come out, another iPhone's going to come out. When this laptop come out, another one's going to come out. Get what you need, not so much what you want. Because 5 out of 10 is what you need is going to be what you want at the end. Make big purchases, not little purchases. They're just going to drain your money. I had plenty of things that I bought on that credit card, went to Goodwill, things I didn't even need, just buying clothes, crazy. But it's been a journey, and I am not mad at it at all. But I just wanted to come on here to let you guys know why I um, went in debt, and why I got out of debt, and why I started on this financial journey. I'm still on this financial journey because I still have my student loans that I have to pay. I still have a mortgage I have to pay. Of course, I own my car. My husband owns his car. But just like I said, if you guys are not on that journey yet into getting your debt down and increasing your credit, please, I beg of you, jump on it. It's fun. It's a journey, but do it. There's all kind of techniques that good for you may not work for me, but work for you, that you can get your debt down and get your credit up. So I wanted to share this video with you guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, friends, family, enemies. Somebody needs to hear this. And as always, keep spilling the tea, you guys. I love you, and let's get this conversation started. And comment down below. Bye.
So we ain't really never had no old money. We got a whole lot of new money, though.